Hello, SolarLoon here, and here is something a little bit different. This is going to be a stream where I just play games for a little bit of time. Essentially, I'm going to be playing games, a little bit of Smash just before Ninjala starts to test out the setup, make sure that it's 60 FPS for everybody, it's nice and smooth, and then Ninjala is supposed to drop at 12 p.m. PST, which is in 20 minutes, and then we'll play for the entirety of the beta, which is for an hour. So we'll give it a shot. I was a huge fan of Splatoon 1, liked it a lot. Wasn't so much a fan of Splatoon 2, it was pretty good, but it just didn't feel like a really huge sequel. So I was like, I played it, but it wasn't as good as I would have hoped a sequel to Splatoon was. And Ninjala looks like it's similar, very colorful, similar third-person action game, but it's obviously an action game, not a shooter. So we'll see how it is and see what it's all about. In the meantime, we're gonna kick things off with a little bit of Smash. So I'll switch over to that real quick. Boom, and Runson. Runson says, "Slowly, gently, I creep up onto your stream." Thanks a lot, Runson, for coming through. I appreciate it. All right, let's see how this is. Let's see how this goes. All right, switch is on. Good, good, good. This is going to be a little different because I don't usually... That's not going to work. I don't usually play games on streams and stuff, so this is a first for me. We'll see how it goes and kick things off. So we got HDMI. Audio's coming through here. Okay. If it's too quiet, let me know. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Or if I'm too quiet or the game audio is too quiet, then yeah, please let me know. So we have around 19 minutes. So we'll see if we can get in a few matches here. I think. There we go. Better. Yeah, so if anyone's coming to my channel for the first time off of this video, I'm an independent game developer. I play games. I play games. I am an independent game developer who makes games. And don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do... Okay. He made the right choice. Ooh, that was not the right choice. Oh, he is... Honestly, I was expecting a roll after that down B. I saved him. That was my bad. Alright, that's it. He's trying. He's really trying. That's a shame. Alright, dude, if you're gonna step back and, like, shoot projectiles and stuff. Like, I don't have to approach, dude. Like, you are down 2 stocks. I didn't have a jump. I let that happen. That was my bad. Shouldn't have jumped. Yeah, that's it. Easy. That was a good game. Good game. If Tam's watching, good game. We have 15 minutes roughly. Yeah, so I'm an independent game developer. I've been working on different projects. One is I Know Who I Am. It's a adventure game where you play an alien who has to kind of learn about humanity. So he's solving humans' problems and talking to humans in a kind of a creepy little town. It's interesting. It's going okay. I also am working on a project called Master Plan, which is a project planning software for independent game developers. This is not going to work. Please kick me out. Please just kick me out. Let me go. Please let me go. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so Master Plan is a project planning software. It's for independent game developers or software developers. There we go, thank you. Okay. And it's for independent game developers or software developers, people who want to plan things. So that's why it's called Master Plan. So it's kind of like an idea board. I didn't disconnect nothing. That was pure lag. But it's basically an idea board that allows people to plan out projects that are usually visual in nature or, you know, use some kind of media. That way you can use this tool to basically say like, oh, you know, I want to make a dungeon for my game, or I want to, you know, plan out this world map for a or an RPG or something like that. And it allows you to go ahead and put images and notes on your board and tasks to complete and things like that. So it's nice. It's a nice program I've been working on, and it's been going okay. Ness. Let's see what we can do against Ness. Alright. Alright. I'm looking specifically for him to step back. Alright, that's fine. I'll take that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. No. Kind of surprised I didn't hit him, actually. No. Mm-mm. No, this man he's having trouble. I understand. It's a tough matchup for Incineroar. Nah, I'm kidding. He's a good Ness, but I'm used to this matchup. Like I know a little bit about it. As I immediately get grabbed and thrown to oblivion. That hover was actually, ooh. No. No. That grab was perfect. I'm just clanking with this dude. One more will send him. There we go. Nice. We have 10 minutes. I'm just counting down. Like, how much time do we have until Ninjala? All right. So, that was okay. It was good game. Good game. To Pink Mac. And for the past the past week, I've been working on another part of my development space, which is a library called Resolve. It's available on GitHub. It's basically a tool. Why is it so laggy? Like, the lag just turned up, like, right now. Now it's gone. Okay. That was a good spot dodge. Yeah, so Resolve is basically something for, like, arcade game physics. For games. So it's useful. That's Star Child. PK Star Child. I didn't want to spot dodge, even though that probably would have been a good idea. I've noticed a lot of Nesses do this, and I always, like, guard against it. They, like, rising attack. And that's just, like, it's not bad, but a lot of Nesses use that particular... Oh, man. A lot of Nesses use that particular approach. Like, from ledge, they'll, like... Oh, I got fortunate on that one. He's really throwing out the PK fires a little bit too much. Or a lot too much. I thought for sure I was out of range. I was like, I should be able to drift far enough. Good game. Like, I didn't move, dude, man. This was perfect. Alright, so we have another 10 minutes. Almost. 8 minutes. Good game. That was just like a sin to hit. I thought they were gonna fare. They should have fared. This guy plays Samus a little bit differently from most people. That's why I'm like kind of struggling. But struggling with Incineroar is just like a little extra energy. Like Incineroar can be like 300% and just be like, all right, I'm gonna kill you now. Like if you use him well. Oh, I had it. I actually had him. There we go. That step back. Oh, this lag is not helping me. Recovers high. Yo, don't let this happen. Alright, I was about to say. Woo! Nah, not quite. Get back over there. We need you off stage. Ah, I couldn't down B in time. I was mashing it. I don't know why I thought I would not come for him off stage. In that manner. I just like slid by him. Slid by the energy glass. I didn't block in time. He's too aggressive. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, so we have another 4 minutes. So we'll do one more match. One more match. Oh, he left. Okay, well. Muramasa, okay. Let's do this, Muramasa. Ah, I thought I was gonna be, I was gonna hit the ledge. That offstage air dodge was not what I thought he was gonna do, like at all. It seems like he's specifically, like trying not to get hit by that, which is weird because I've never seen somebody like not get hit by that move. That's just kind of a weird thing to me. Okay, then now we have a game. We got a game, Trotters. We got a game here, Harlem Globetrotters. This is ridiculous. Wow. Did he leave? Okay. This is amazing because, like, it went from him having a straight up stock lead on me. Oh, I thought for sure he was gonna move a little bit closer. What a... Ooh! Dang, I didn't catch... that was really, really close. Bundi says, is the down air to down air... is the down throw to down air true? If you DI out, it isn't. But most people don't DI out. And it's easier to hit on people like Bowser or DK. It's weird that this person's specifically DIing in such a way... like air dodging and DIing in such a way where it's like... leaving him... like he's avoiding it, but it's not usual for Bowser's to avoid it. It's very unusual. I guess I'll just not do it. Lag, please. Okay. Probably should have gone for an F smash. Also, the grab. Think about. Yeah, this lag is not my best friend. That was good. Ah, with down tilt. Ah, that's really unfortunate. Alright, we're good. Tawari says, what's our lunch moving? Let's go. I'll call it a good game. And now it's time for Ninjala, so let's give it a shot. Oh, what's... Alright. So... yeah, we'll just change it. Okay. So what we're going to do here... I'm going to use my knockoff third-party, not a pro controller. Not sure how that's going to do. Tabar says, is there an open beta? Yes. I was given this key directly by the developers. It's also an open beta. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't get anything from the developers. It's an open beta. You can get it on the eShop, and it's going to be 3 different slots for times where you can play online. One is right now from 12 to 1. Another is like 8, I think. Yeah, 8 to 9. And then there's another one from like 4 to 5 PST. Something like that. Alright. Okay, I was like, Ninja Law. I was like, Ninja Law. What's Ninja Law? It's Ninjala. Well, it's Ninjala. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, he said it right. Go with what he said. So, from what I can see, this is a team, third-person team-based brawler or third-person deathmatch brawler of sorts. And it's going to ask for my password. I'm not going to give you guys that information. Also, why do I need to sign into my account? I don't understand, given that, like, I'm already signed in. But whatever, we'll do that off screen. Let's see here. It's going to be weird just seeing me not look at the camera, but whatever. Let's see here. Let's see. I guess in the meantime, I'll just do this. Alright, now we're back. Let's see. Alright, terms of service. Alright, well this is part of the game, guys. You gotta understand what you're getting yourself into. In-game items, account fees and refunds, okay. User content, alright. Online conduct, okay. Links, okay. Indemnification, alright. Alright, notice, alright, here we go. We're good. Understood. Privacy policy, okay. Alright, let's see. Type of information you collect. Social security, okay. Date of birth, date of death, alright, thank you very much. Disclosure to third parties, alright. Satan will have hold of my information, understood. What? No! No! Okay. I failed. I failed you all. I pressed the wrong button. Alright. I have to do it all. Okay. So yes, I got the term of service. Do I have to go down the bottom? No. Okay. Privacy policy. Understood. Agreement. Okay. Alright, so let's see what this is all about. So I get to make my character. Okay. Let's... That's weird. I can't... Is something with my controller? I can't go right. I can go left, but not right. That's weird. But on the D-pad, I can go right. That's strange. I'll go with this dude. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's all fine. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time before I just decided to do this, so I didn't like look too much into how to play the game. I just kind of, I know I'm familiar with the game, the concept, and I saw some videos about it, but I didn't like watch the how to play video. So I'll be kind of going into this blind a little bit as far as the fundamental mechanics. So let's see what this is all about. Also, people are talking in chat. Boondy says banger time. All right. All right. Well, this is looking pretty good, honestly. Oh, it's a video. Okay. What? Okay. That was weird. So it was like a YouTube. It was like showing in a YouTube video. All right. I want to control the camera myself. Yeah. Gyroscope. That might be a good idea, but let's see what the game's about. It looks interesting, actually. It looks kind of cool. It looks pretty good, actually. All right. You got double jump. You have walking up walls. You have attacking. Okay, I thought there was a dash as well. ZL's to blow a bubble. Oh, you can use that to guard. Okay, so it's a shield, but you can also use it as a projectile. Okay. Oh, that's how you dash. Okay. Hey, got it. Alright. That's my left stick drifting. Yeah, okay. There's something up with my controller. It's drifting. Hold up. Let me try this again. Maybe I was holding left when I did this. But it seems pretty cool, honestly. Lucas Ale says, "Hi, Zolar. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. And thank you very much for stopping by." There we go. Okay, we're good. Okay, so you have double jump. It looks really good. Like, the graphics are pretty solid. 60 FPS, 1080p, yeah. Okay, so that's... Oh. I see, okay. That's really interesting. So, when you're within range of an enemy, when you're out of range of an enemy, there's a yellow circle. Is that... That's who you're gonna shoot with your gum. Okay. If you, oh, okay. So basically, whoever you're looking at, that's who you're gonna shoot with your gum if it's yellow. But if it's red, like this, right, like that, when you press the right trigger, it just automatically zooms toward them, which is interesting because that's like, that makes it so you have to commit. Like if I'm close and I do this, like you can basically be like, all right, I'm gonna put up my shield. Like let me blow the gum. Like let me do that immediately. That's cool. I like that. Okay. All right. All right. There's a way to teleport around the other person. How am I doing that? Hold on. Different. Okay, so different angles that you hold on the analog stick changes what kind of move you do. There we go. Yeah. Man, I gotta keep an eye on this stuff. There we go. That'll help me out. Okay. Bundi says mic muted. And Tabari says mic muted. Yeah, sorry about that. It's interesting. And I feel like this is important to get a hold on it for me personally, because it's like there's some advanced technique here. If you attack and like hold the analog stick left or right, you'll teleport around the person. You'll dash around them like that. If you hold back, they do like a strong attack, and if you hold up, it doesn't seem like there's any difference between holding up and just attacking normally. Yeah. Okay, and then that's how you craft it. Okay, so you can disguise this stuff immediately by doing that. Well, how do you... Oh, okay. So okay, there's a lot here, dude. Like if you press Z, L, and A, you'll just like you'll turn into something. You'll turn into like a crate. In this example, you'll hide. You'll hide. I just didn't expect it to be just like also available. I thought maybe it would be like a special ability or something. But if you hold it fully and then press A, you'll craft a big weapon. All right. I think we got it. This is actually kind of deep. Like I kind of thought it was gonna be like a pretty. It probably is getting crushed by the number of people. We'll keep retrying and seeing if we can get in there. But I thought it was. There we go. I thought that it was gonna be kind of basic, but there's a few like mechanics that work here. All right, so you can fight. You can equip stuff. Or is this just stuff about me? I shouldn't be wasting my time. Let me go back. Let me go and actually try the game. There's only an hour. I should actually give it a shot. Yeah, I think they're getting crushed under the number of people playing, which is a good problem to have, to be honest. Like yeah, if your game is in a closed, like a tight little beta test window, and it's easy for people to get on, and there's like 17 people playing, that's not like, it's good for the players who play, but that's not good for your company in a sense, because it's like, okay, well, you know, you might have a couple hundred people who are interested. There's probably thousands of people trying to play right here. Like, that's probably why it's just like straight up not working. This is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Dang. All right. Well, we're gonna keep trying and seeing if we can get in there. I might, if this keeps going, I might turn off the game audio. Are we in there? No. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the game audio real quick, so that you don't have to keep hearing Ninjala over and over again. But this is, I mean, you know, I'm sure there's other streamers and other people who are like ticked off because it's like, man, you know, how are you gonna have like a closed beta or open beta test in a specific window of time and not, you know, have it be big enough, you know, have the servers be well equipped enough to handle all of the influx of people, or, you know, something, you know, you can be upset about it, but it's a good problem to have, and this is the specific reason why they have a window for this, so that they can see like how are the servers doing, you know, what are the kind of the common problems that people are seeing. In this video alone, we see like getting past the title screen is an error, or at the title screen there's an error, but if you get past there's another section here where it loads. So I don't know if this is two different errors, or if you get into here it's more likely to connect. I'll have to see, or they'll have to see when they when they inevitably like improve their system. I don't think that there's, I think it's way too early for people to be like the beta test is a failure, or like they need to upgrade their servers. This is specifically why they're doing this. So like, I feel like this might have happened with Splatoon. It did happen with Splatoon. I remember specifically that they had closed beta tests before Splatoon dropped, and it was so popular that it was constantly airing out. You couldn't actually get into the game, and I think they extended the open beta test, or I don't remember what they called it, but their open like demo, I think they extended it a couple of times. Like, I remember it being like, oh, I think I remember it being like, oh, here's another day where you can play, and they might do that because people are having so much trouble, or I'm having so much trouble, so it's pretty indicative of a ordinary person. Yes, having problems with the game. Oh no, is it going to kick me out like entirely? I thought it would just go to a window and be like, you can retry. If it's like this, this is gonna be tough, because now no one can play except for a select number of people. Well, I'll keep trying. It's only like another 40 minutes. I'd like to get some in-game like feel of it, but this is a good problem to have, and I feel like they might have hit a home run if they have like this many people trying to play the game, where like people can't even get into the game, can't even connect to get into the game. It's that many people. That's good. And they've definitely got the style down. They got the graphics down. Like it definitely feels like it could have been a Nintendo game. Like this doesn't feel anything out of the ordinary for an ordinary Nintendo game, which is great, honestly. So we'll give it a shot. Keep giving it a shot and see what. Okay, gun morphing. That's turning into turning into a different object or whatever, different terms and stuff. That's cool. This is very cool. To where he says, "Angry streamers broke, Solar Loon woke." That's basically what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to stay woke. I'm trying to be like, well, this is part of this is the reason why they're doing this. This is the part of the experience for the developers is like patching things and seeing how things go. It's kind of unfortunate as well because this is not ideal conditions. Even with these beta test windows the way they are, I feel like this might have been like this before coronavirus even hit like the population of the world. And like now everyone's inside, everyone's playing games constantly, everyone's free. Like this might be an influx of an extra, I don't know, 200% people. Like it might be that many people trying to play this game right now, as opposed to if it was a normal situation. I mean, this is 12:20 on a Tuesday afternoon. Like if this was normal circumstances, all the kids would be at school, all the normal people would be at work. So there'd be, maybe 30%, 20% of the people that are probably on here right now. So like I don't even think you can really blame the developers for having like poor networking, net play code or poor servers allocated to it, because you're talking about, an insane number of people probably trying to play this game right now, as opposed to if it was in a normal circumstance. If it was normally a normal April 2019, you probably would have a couple hundred people. Now you probably have maybe over 10,000, who knows. Like it might be an insane amount. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully they don't get lambasted or destroyed for this, because it's definitely got style. It definitely feels fun to play. I feel like it's the main character moves a little bit slowly, but that's understandable that they give you the ability to like dash and stuff. So it's like, you have kind of a trade-off. You don't want the main character just running fast by default, because then it's like, well, what's the point of a dash? But that's, from my limited like 3 minutes in playing the game, that's like the only thing I kind of like feel is like, it's a little moves a little slowly. But the game overall feels pretty good. Feels pretty solid. Man, I can't get in. Oh, all right. I'm gonna keep trying. And we're gonna see how this goes. In the meantime, what I'll do. I think I'm gonna switch this up a little bit and maybe do something else, and then just kind of like keep spamming this on the side, and you guys can watch, me do something else, and this will be just like in a little box in the corner. That way you don't just have to sit here and watch me do nothing in silence. Yeah, it's gonna keep trying. So hopefully they extend the beta period. Yo, 4-Bit Friday, how's it going? Thanks for showing up on stream. How's the game? I haven't been able to get into play because too many people are playing, I think, at the moment. Overall, I haven't been able to play an actual match. I just played like a little training stage. It's good. It's pretty good. Everything feels solid. There's a lot of mechanics at work. I kind of thought that it would just be like, maybe a special attacking dash. But there's like 6 different means of like kind of expanding, or 6 different, like layers to the combat. It's pretty solid. It's actually pretty deep. It's not nearly as simple as I kind of thought it would be, which is great. Honestly, I feel like this is a good a good try at something I haven't really seen before, which is like a free-to-play third-person action brawler, platformer kind of thing, because it's more mobile than like. I'm trying to think of another free-to-play third-person action game, but I can't really come up with anything at the moment. It's pretty good, but I think it's just too many people trying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do this. We're going to switch over to HDMI 1. We're going to put this over here. Oh snap. Are we getting in? Give me a quick battle, come on. Inner battle, yes. Matching in progress. Oh my goodness, we about to be in here. Let me unmute it. We about to play, I think. No! It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Okay. Well, I'm an adult. I deal with disappointment every day. Dang. All right. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna give a solid guess and say that they probably are going to extend the range, the time of the test. And if they do, I'm probably gonna stream that because this isn't really a good showing for the game. It's just it's one of those things. It's outside of the realm of possibility or the realm of fixing and assisting and resolving for the developers and the players. It's just one of those things that happens sometimes. So if this does get extended, or if they hopefully fix the connection issues, or I don't know what they can do within the hours they have between now and 8 p.m. But I might end up streaming this again at 8 and give it another shot. See if we can get in there and get a couple matches in. I'll keep trying here until it's over, but I'm not sure if we'll actually get in, which is unfortunate. But I'm not going to stop until I get a shot, because I want to see this because it's actually it's pretty solid. Never. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to mute this. We're going to go over here to screen capture. We're going to add in a scene. Hold on. Bear with me. Video capture device. All right. For some reason, my mic seems to be cutting out whenever I make too many adjustments to the streaming setup. But this should work. This should work. So this way you can see it on the corner. 4-bit says, "I like your character. Thanks." I mean, it's the pre-made character, but I like that they allow for some customization. That's always nice. Yeah, I'll do it like this. We'll do full screen. Over there. Okay, let me try. All right, so this way I can kind of hopefully see everything and keep giving it a shot. Close windows. That's life. All right. So in the meantime, I'll talk a little bit about Master Plan. So Master Plan, I've been recently working on this for a little bit. And what this is essentially, it is a project planning software for game developers or for for game developers or for you know, programmers, things like that. People who basically have to plan things out. So it allows you to do like tasks. It allows you to do you know, put in like sounds and images and stuff. So it's really useful for like visual idea boards. Let's see here. We'll give it another shot. And so the cool thing about this, the cool thing about this is that it does allow you to kind of have everything in one place. And this is kind of important because if you're a developer, if you're someone who works on games or works on projects like, you know, coding different programs and things like that, you want to have an idea of what you, well, generally you want to have an idea of your approach, but then also you probably want to have whatever your plan is as a file you can commit to your version control system. So like you don't have your code in GitHub and your plan in like, you know, whatever, in like Excel. Well, Excel, that's a normal file, but like your plan in like Hack and Plan or in, you know, an online service like Trello, they work well, but they don't commit, they're not together. So you probably want to have something that's together, and that's kind of what this is for. So that's for today. Well, this is strange because I know that audio cut out on my microphone here, but I guess it's going to cut out on this as well. So it might be, that might be the case. It might be an issue with my my Blue Yeti microphone, like my nice microphone. It might be an issue there because the last video I made, the audio cut out as well. So it might be a problem with this device. So what I'll do, let's give this a shot. And I'll keep trying it on the side. Alright. Maybe that'll help. Okay. And we'll just plug this for good measure. Alright, so yeah, recently I added the ability to rename boards. So if you have a board, for example, that's like, oh, I have a board that's full of images for like, you know, maybe let's say the cave dungeon, right? And so let's say cave dungeon here, it'll say cave dungeon up here, and you can select different boards that are essentially layers or different kind of layers where you can put images or tasks to complete. So you can say, for example, you have all these parts to making the cave dungeon that you have to complete, which you can put up here. You can put up different images of different, maybe real life places in the desert or different dungeons in different games that you like, and use that as an idea board to kind of tie everything together. So that's what I did with Master Plan recently, is add the ability to select these boards and also improve the text handling. It's weird to do like hey, what's going on here with the desktop audio? Yeah, it's kind of weird to do this kind of a update where it's like, this is a devlog update, but also I'm trying to play Ninjala. Maybe that'll be the name of the video when this gets switched over. I play Ninjala, but every time I connect, I update my viewers on my development. So anyway, I made this font myself. So this is an updated font, and it has additional Unicode characters. So if you're someone who speaks a language that uses Latin characters with diacritics, I think is the right word, on top, like A with a what's the word? Accent éclair or accent grave on the top, or anything like that, or umlaut over certain characters. I think I have that in there. So now those kinds of characters should appear. Not necessarily all of them. I'm not sure about the umlaut over certain characters. I don't remember putting those in for all of them, but I'm not sure if I did. So yeah, now you should be able to like write in French and write in Spanish and all that stuff, which is good. 4-Bit says, I've been meaning to move some of my game design notes to Masterplan. They're a huge mess right now, and this seems like a great tool. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear at least other developers, say that there seems to be some merit in it, because it's easy to get caught up in like, oh man, I think this would be cool, or that would be a nice feature, and not really think about your audience. So if my audience is other developers and not just myself, and they think it could be useful, then that's all the better. So there's a lot of stuff I need to add. It's not nearly done. It's usable, but it's not done like 100% finished. But it's in kind of early access. You can download it, you can purchase it, you can build it yourself from GitHub, or you can just buy it if you don't know how or don't want to, or wish to support development. Guess which one I would like you to do. Yeah, so that's kind of the stuff I've been working on for Masterplan. And I recently switch over from, maybe we could get some music in here. Yeah, let me get some music in here while I'm doing this. Yeah, let me do that. Hold up. I'm literally just spamming A in between. Alright, we're going to do this. We're going to switch over here. We want, I don't remember how to do this. Is it Control L? No, Shift L. Shift L, okay. All right. I think this should all work correctly. Yeah. All right. So 4-Bit Friday says I bought it already. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. So basically, Masterplan. I'm working on that. I recently switched from. I had Solus OS, the Linux distribution Solus, installed on my computer. And I switched from that to a variety of other systems. I was trying different ones because I was like, well, my computer, it kind of got not bloated, but when you have your operating systems and everything installed for like a year and you're downloading things for development and games and tools and stuff, it gets a little bit much, and you kind of feel like I want to go back to like a fresh, clean slate. And so I did. So I went ahead and uninstalled copied my stuff and uninstalled my operating system and installed different ones. And then came back to Solus because it was like, I like the customization of other operating systems like KDE under, Manjaro, or under, which one other did I try? I think I tried Kubuntu, but they didn't quite work as smoothly and as sleekly as I would have liked. And so I just went back to Solus, and it's still working fine. Everything works, 100% without issue. So yeah, it's a pretty good operating system. I'm just gonna keep trying until I get it. It's a pretty good operating system. And yeah, I would recommend it. But the reason I brought that up is because I basically have to go through and like reinstall everything. So I still have like my projects that I've made. I backed that stuff up. But I had to go through and like reinstall VirtualBox and like reinstall my Windows virtual operating system and my Linux virtual operating system for building Masterplan. So that's what I've been doing earlier today. And so all this stuff that I've been working on will be out in a new update, hopefully by today, by the end of today. I'll push out an update for Masterplan with these new features, which is cool. I'll show a little bit of what I've been doing with Resolve. And so what Resolve is basically it's a library in Golang for arcade physics. So if you have a game like, you know, Mario or, you know, something like that, kind of something simple, something not really that complex, this is for you. But if you have something that's like, oh, I need, you know, like Fruit Ninja to be able to cut stuff in half, like that's not fruit. This isn't for you. You probably need like Box 2D or something more specific and deeper. Oh. Did I use that? There we go. So this is what I've been working on, and so I re-implemented Resolve from the ground up, completely a different program basically, or a different library. It still does the same thing, but it does it completely differently. Before it was basically like you define shapes and then put them in a space and then check for collisions. But that was slow because the way it worked was it was very freeform, which is good, but that means that in order to check for collisions, it basically has to check each object against every other object. Now, what this is, completely starting from scratch, it is actually, as you can see, segmenting the world into a grid. And every solid object occupies at least one space in that grid. And so collision checking is just a matter of testing, we're 60 FPS, testing the object's like position plus where it's heading. So it actually works pretty well. It actually turns out pretty solidly, and you end up with a nice result. It's sub 60 FPS right now because I'm recording and all that stuff, but in actuality it's 60 FPS for this computer, 60 FPS up until like 1600 bouncers, which is really good. Before it would cap out at around 800. So this is a drastic improvement in performance, which is excellent. I also have a little platformer demo. Let me check this out real quick. I want to make sure it's... Oh, it's not in session. Wait, what? Oh, subject to change due to unforeseen occurrences. Oh, I was just hammering retry because I was like, okay, it's an error. So they took it down. Oh, that's a shame. Well, no. That's the right thing. That's the right thing. That's what they should have done. That's what they should have done. I think. I think it's Delta time. I think that's the right thing to do because basically, I don't think anyone was getting in, and so they said, well, let's fix this a little bit. Let me take a look here. See what they have to say on the Ninjala subreddit. No, who would have some information on it? Yeah, so it looks like other people probably were having the same problem here. Manage one game, yeah. Yeah, okay, so it seems like other people are pretty much were having the same problem as I was. Ninjala's trending, yeah. Its open beta is live 41 minutes ago and it's already down. Dang, they got hammered, dude. Yep. And see, people are already like, good launch. It's like, dude, bro, this is this is peak coronavirus season, my man. Like, there's a million people waiting to replace the million people already on the servers. Like, you can't, of course, bro. Like, good launch. Yes, good launch. Like, this is what, like, of course. And there it is. Here it is right here. Splatoon 2 flashbacks. Exactly. Like, this is just Splatoon all over again. It's the exact same thing. And it's complete, like, how are people upset? Like, it's the same, it's exactly the same problem that Nintendo had with Splatoon. It's just Ninjala. Like, it's, like, why are you upset? It's the same, it's exactly what it seems like. Like, of course, dude. Of course. So anyway, I'm not sure why this person's even continue to do this because I assume that they just straight up took it down. But maybe they didn't. Maybe it's just the servers are getting smashed so hard that, like, yeah, emergency maintenance. 12:30. Yeah, okay, so it's been down for 15 minutes. There you go. So, yeah, access failure, emergency maintenance. All right, this is completely on track. So what I'm going to do instead of keeping my eye on the HDMI capture, I'm just going to turn my switch off, actually. And instead, I'm going to keep an eye on this page and basically see if they ever update to say, like, oh yeah, we resolved it, please, give it another shot, and we'll extend the beta by, whatever, 30, 45 minutes, whatever the case is. Definitely seems like a lot of fun. I'm definitely interested in playing it, and I think it'll be a nice little test. Tabari says they're sheep, bruh. I mean, I don't want to say they're sheep, but like, I mean, like, they're not. Come on, man. Like, it's like no one can play. It's not just like, oh, I can't play. No one can play, dude. Like, it's too many people. It's coronavirus. Just come on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to come up with it. So anyway, we'll come back to that, and if it comes back up in, like, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes, I'll just go ahead and play the entire hour like I was going to play initially, because I feel like it's a lot of fun, and I want to give it a good shot and show it at its best, because it's honestly, like, it does kind of hit all of the boxes. It looks good. It's smooth. It's fluid. The movement feels pretty fluid. It feels like it's, from my limited understanding, it feels like it's a lot of fun, and I'd like to give it a shot. So in the meantime, we have this. So basically, this is a little demo of a platformer game, 2D platformer game, where essentially I wanted to, and this is kind of what I did with Resolve, the original version, is make little demo tests so I can see, like, oh, okay, how would you do this? What's the kind of the sticking point with the library? And you can see in here, I don't really do a lot of, like, actual physics stuff or collision testing. Resolve's handling all that. I'm just doing stuff like, oh, move right if you press right. Oh, move left if you press left. Wall slide if you touch a wall. And that's understandable, that, like, platform moving up and down really fast when you switch back to the test. I'm not worried about that. But basically, you have platforms you can jump through, you can fall through with down and jump, which I just figured out how to do that, like, today. Not today, but like last week. Like, just when I was making this, for the entire time that I've been making platformers, it was just like, how do I do, like, a fall through? Like, do you just make it so you don't check for a ground, like, for a like quarter second or something? But you just tell, like, you just have a pointer of, like, oh, this platform is to be ignored. It's not that hard. Anyway, you have wall sliding and wall jumping, which is cool. Just kind of some basic stuff. I have this ramp you can walk up and walk down, which is nice. The one thing about this I don't like is the ramp. It's kind of jank. And what I'd like to do is make it so that an object doesn't have to be a rectangle. It can have basically a shape associated with it. And that's what I'm thinking, is basically making it so that, like, the rectangle might be this big, but the shape is like that. That way you don't have to have these two different objects, or, kind of do it kind of weirdly. It'll just be an actual triangle. But overall, this is solid. This is a solid attempt, a solid test. That's really the only thing I want to, like, improve. But overall, this is pretty much exactly what you'd expect out of a platformer. Feels nice, feels solid. Nothing really feels like weird or jank. And if you press F1, you can see how it's kind of working, how everything's aligned to a grid, and everything fills out the cells. And when it comes to collision testing, it just checks to see where the cell is, where an object is occupying the cell below, for example, the player. And then it knows, okay, I'm on a platform, or I'm on solid ground, or whatever. So it works pretty well. Not bad. Let's see here. Yeah, no updates just yet. So I'll keep an eye on this. What else have I been working on? And apologies for my computer, like, grinding. It's doing its best, please. Be kind. What else? Oh yeah, so I started this game for the last Let 'em Dare, LD Jam 46. I didn't get very far with it because I was working on Resolve, basically. That's not what I want. I was working on Resolve. I'm not sure if this will actually load. I don't think it will. It does. Okay, cool. I was working on Resolve, and like dungeon generation and path finding and all that stuff. And I did like improve libraries, and that's kind of why I worked on other things, but I didn't get the game done. But the game, it seems like it could be pretty cool. It's basically, my idea is that, well, the Let 'em Dare initially was had a theme of like keep it alive, I think. And so I was thinking, what if you play a character who is invulnerable, invincible, but you have to escort a character that is not invincible. And so I got the idea of like two brothers going into a dungeon for some kind of reason. One of them gets like some sort of insane technology that allows him to be invulnerable, but they still have to go down to the bottom of the dungeon. So one of them is like super powered and the other one is just normal. And your job is to make sure that this normal guy doesn't get killed, and just protect him. And so he can follow you. It's a little jank, but he can follow you around. He can. Well, yeah, he can follow you around, and I have to make it so that he like has weapons and stuff like that, and enemies, and you know, I have to flesh it out. But the general idea is that you're going to be adventuring through this dungeon, this randomly generated dungeon, and you just have this kind of co-op partner that's a computer. That's basically the idea. Definitely not perfect, but I think that there's a lot of potential. I like the style and look of these little dudes. They look cool. Like, even though they're super simple and they're not like at all that developed, they have such a like a depth of character. Like, it looks like you want this dude to survive. Like, you want these dudes to survive. So it's not done. There's still a lot to do, but it's shaping up pretty well. So I'm happy with that. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so they're still working. Okay. All right. So what I will do in addition, what else? This is just about to turn into. It's been to turn into just a game development stream. Like, I'm about to just. I'm about to just like sit down and be like, well, let's code some collisions. All right, let's show. Oh, this is. I still have Ubuntu on. Oh, hold on. I was wondering why my computer was like pushing. I have Ubuntu running in a virtual box in VirtualBox. Yeah, my audio is not cutting out anymore, so I think it might be my Blue Yeti microphone, which is unfortunate, but I kind of feel like that could be the case a little bit more, because a lot of the time, like, I've pulled the audio cable on the mic, and that rips it out of the aux cable port, and that pulls the mic back. I'll show you. I'll show you a little bit. I think what really, like, what's kind of caused it is, like, I would pull the microphone cable. This is right angle one, but it, you know, imagine that it was something like this. So I pull the right angle cable, or I pull the audio cable. It comes out of this port, and that pulls also on the USB cable back, and so the USB cable is kind of bent. And I feel like the USB port is also similarly kind of jank right now. I don't have a lot to support that, but I feel like that might be the case since it's kind of just suddenly starting to go out. I think that by having the microphone plugged in, because it acts as both a microphone and also an audio out. So I think by having the microphone plugged in to USB, it's like sometimes cutting out, and that rearranges the audio, like messes up the audio devices in my operating system. I think that's what's going on. So in any case, I might have to just go ahead and like get this replaced. if that's the actual problem. I don't know if it is, but it could be. And if it is, then I need to get it replaced. Unless this mic works fine, which it kind of seems like it might. Seems like it might. So we'll see on that. All right. I guess we're just gonna dev. We're just gonna develop. We're just gonna work. So let's go ahead and get to work. I guess we're just gonna. I wasn't planning this, but I don't want to just like do nothing for an hour and then be like, sorry guys, I guess that's the end of the stream because too many people are at home because Earth stinks right now. I mean, that is true, but I mean, like, that is the case. But that aside, I can do something else. So let's keep going. All right. So, Godo. This is I Know Who I Am. This is a adventure game. So you play this character. His name is XX. He walks around and talks to people and tries to solve problems. One thing I was working on recently was the method to like control what you do in Salvo. So Salvo is if you're unfamiliar with the game, Salvo is a kind of like a mini game within I Know Who I Am, where you equip you have a character, you choose a character, and you equip different moves, and you play those moves in kind of like a turn-based battle system. It's not very deep, but it doesn't have to be because it's just a mini game. It's not the whole game. So you have the ability to control, like, for example, which moves you have equipped at any given time and stuff like that. And that's what I was working on recently. So you can, for example, set your hero, and there's some information here. This hero is named Straight, which is an android made by the government. There we go. An android created by a desperate government. He's the hero of Bacillus, a land beset by dark forces. He fights hard. Oh, I can just grab that. I forgot. He fights hard to vanquish the last evil plaguing the land XE and save his home from certain doom. And then you have Ram, which is a member of a proud ancient race of warriors. He's haughty and short-tempered. A mysterious wandering soldier arrived at his village one day seeking shelter from the weather. The warriors attacked him, but he bested all of them. Now Ram seeks revenge for the dishonor received by his entire village. Yeah, so basically they all have their own little, as though this is presented as though it's a game inside of I Know Who I Am. So it's like, this is kind of an on-running thing. Each character has their own like storyline. It's just going to be a single battle system, but I want to make it a little bit more fleshed out. So each character has their own like blurb about who they are and why they're there, and they'll all have their own passives. So Straight will have a passive that's different from Ram, and Ram will have a passive that's different from everyone else. So, and there's a few characters here that I have planned. The characters themselves are relatively simple to animate. It's like 6 frames, like 2 idols, 1 attack, or 3 attack, 1 hit, and 1 use, I think, and that's all of it. So like 7 frames per character. So it's not too difficult to just like pop them out, and then you get to set your moves here. That's what I was working on, was the ability to like, oh, I want to replace my slash with like a division. I want to replace the punch with like dart. I want to replace the disarm with shield, and it should tell you up here what the move does. Yeah, and so once you're done, you say, okay, we're good. You quit, and then when you go into a battle, you'll have your character and you'll have your moves. Boone D says, oh yeah, I love the Club Sharp preview and how you did a version of that one song. Oh, thank you. That's probably just going to be the real version of it, because it's too hype to only have it in the club. I feel like I'll just make it so that is the version of I can't think of the name of the song. I'm blanking. I made the song. It's not dog food. It's whatever. It's the song that you know I made it because it's on the video. So so yeah, at some point I'll remember. But anyway, yeah, that's probably just gonna be the default song for both Salvo battles as well as that the club. So there's still a couple of areas that I wanted to make where I'm kind of nearing completion in terms of like how many areas I have in the game in total. Even though not every area is fleshed out, I feel like I'm kind of nearing completion of like, oh yeah, this maybe one or two more areas, and that's kind of it. There's going to be more rooms. It's going to be deeper, but I feel like the total number of areas is kind of approaching it. I want to add a well, one thing manager's office. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Yeah. One thing I wanted to add specifically was why don't I just do it like this? Yeah. So I have a parking garage that I want to put this in here somewhere, into the game somewhere. And I'm thinking, I have a couple of ideas of where this could go. And yeah, the rotated cars look a little bit jank. They're kind of sliding around. But yeah, I feel like this could be good and kind of go in a couple of different places. And the cars are randomly selected, so like if I come back, it'll be a different car, different set of cars. But basically, I like the idea of a parking garage because it's a kind of creepy place, especially if there's no one around. It's kind of like the only thing that's like a maze in real life is a parking garage, because how it actually functions is highly inhibited by the presence of cars and the inability to see over them, and the multi-level nature of multi-level parking structures. So like a parking structure is inherently disorienting and inherently creepy because you don't know who's around, you don't know where they are, you don't know why they're there, you don't know any of that. So like if you had some sort of monster chasing you through a parking garage, that'd be an interesting, I think, thing. I'm not sure if I will do the monster chasing you part, but I think just a parking garage is an interesting place that you don't really see too often in games, and it's an interesting place because it looks cool. Like it's a cool place to explore. Yeah, so like I'd like to put this somewhere in the game, and also I want to make a mental hospital because I feel like mental conditions are interesting to explore as a game subject. I don't think I could really do it that well, just because I'm not familiar enough with mental conditions, deep mental conditions, where it's like, oh, I don't want to be a person who's like, oh, a developer who's like, oh, this person has, split personality syndrome, and I know nothing about it, and I'm just like using it as an excuse for them to act crazy. That's not nice. Like I want to actually have, but then again, you don't have to know everything about any subject to be a developer who makes content regarding that subject, and it always doesn't always have to be accurate for it to be fun, enjoyable, or make you think about it. I don't think it, like you have a game like Undertale, none of that's really accurate to anything. Like none of it's about monsters and, a world apart from, on the sub side of humanity. The humanity's on the surface, and then all the monsters are underneath the earth. Like that obviously doesn't exist, but the themes it talks about resonate with a lot of people, and it's a lot of interesting characters, and it can be funny sometimes, and it can be heartwarming, and all that stuff, scary sometimes. So I think I'd like to have a mental hospital, mainly because a mental hospital would be a logical in-universe place to find puzzles, and I want excuses to make puzzles, like lock and key puzzles, and things that make you think. Word puzzles, not necessarily like crossword, but like puzzles where you have to kind of think about maybe riddles, or puzzles that rely on maybe brain teasers and like mathematics and things like that, or association of colors with ideas. Like, okay, if you're looking for something red and red means heavy, then when you say give me something blue, then you really want something light. And so if you want something light, then you want a feather, something light, that kind of stuff. Whereas like in a mental hospital, it's really just an excuse to put you through different puzzles that just flesh out the game a little bit more and make it not just about exploring and talking to people, but also about actual fundamental gameplay of finding the right item and using it at the right place, or solving different puzzles, and kind of helping people with their problems. So I think that a mental hospital would be a good place for that. And if you have a mental hospital, you should have a place where there's going to be people with mental issues, mental problems, and so I think it's okay to approach that and broach that subject. I don't think it's wrong to say like, oh well, you have to have a deep understanding of everything in everything you talk about to talk about it. Well, I don't think you have to have a deep understanding of everything you talk about to talk about it. But maybe to make commentary on it or to condemn something, you really should know, more than just the surface level. What you should know what it's about and why people are exhibiting this subject, exhibiting this problem. If you're gonna say like, modern medicine doesn't understand how to treat these problems. Like if you're gonna say something that's strong, then you should really understand and properly portray everything. But if it's just like, oh, this person has this minor mental problem or that minor mental problem, I don't think you have to go too deep into it, or I don't know. People are gonna be angry no matter what, I guess. So I just need to be okay with it. Booney says, I think it would be cool to have a Game Boy sounding version for Salvo. Oh, I see what you mean. So like, oh, well, I'll have to think about it, because I don't want anything to be, if you're gonna hear it a lot, which, there's only one song for Salvo battles because it's the song for battles. If you're gonna hear it, more than 2 or 3 times, then it has to be a banger. It has to be a banger. So like, making it so that the song is Game Boy styled, it's really got to be good. Otherwise, it could be kind of grating and kind of simplistic, and I don't know. So I have to think about it. But it's not a bad idea. But Salvo isn't really Game Boy themed. It's nothing really looks like a Game Boy specifically. So maybe I could do more theming if I do that. I don't know. I got to think about it. But that's not a bad idea. Bundi says, how did you do the screen effects? That's a good question, and I will answer it in a couple of seconds. I just want to double check to see what they have to say on Ninjala's feed. Okay, just emergency maintenance. Alright, I just want to make sure. Alright, so how do I do the screen effects? So there's a couple ways I do the screen effects. Let me pull it up here. It all resides in the GUI. So it applies to basically everything below the GUI. And I'm making this in Godot if you're unfamiliar with the program or what this is. So the way this works is that basically there's I guess we'll start with the first thing. The vignette is basically just a texture. It's just a texture like this that's set to multiply over the screen. So basically everything underneath the GUI, like the player, the tiles, all that stuff, gets darkened slightly. It's lighter in the center than it is in the outlier, and this is basically done by, if I recall, I made a texture in GIMP that was a gradient from white to black. Pardon me, from white to black. Then I brought it into Sprite and applied a palette onto it. The palette didn't have like grays; it just has this kind of like gradation of color through kind of all the hues. So you get this kind of like, it's not just white to black, it's more to it. And that's what makes it kind of a vignette, but also colored. And so you get this kind of green over here, you get this kind of purple here, you get this kind of turquoise here. And so it's a little bit more to it than just like a straight black and white kind of thing. We also have, I'll just talk about them here. We also have visual noise, which is basically a noise texture that is rotating constantly. So it's just, black and white noise, rendered in GIMP, I think, under the plugins menu. I don't remember exactly where it is. I don't remember the name of that menu. But in the plugins menu, there's one to render out noise. And so it's just black and white noise, and then just pushed into Godot with a slight, I think it's alpha, and just turned to be really light, or it's multiply and the colors are just like very light colors. I don't remember which one it is, but basically it's just a noise texture over the screen. We also have tilt blur. That's a shader. So tilt blur, I'll examine that in a little bit. Color tint is also a shader, and that gives you, it's a little hard to see it here, but I'll go out in the light here. Let me open up this. Yeah. But yeah, the color tint is visible here. Like it's basically chromatic aberration essentially. So it's kind of like the colors are like separating on the edges of the screen, and that gives you an effect of kind of like a little bit more texture, but also kind of makes it like you're looking into the game world through a camera. That kind of is what it feels like. And then with the tilt blur on top, it kind of gives a feeling of kind of gives a feeling of a little bit of depth. The tilt blur is an attempt to make it kind of feel 3D, but I didn't actually do, like, it's not actually 3D. I would like to do some kind of scaling to maybe make this upper half of the screen, or upper third of the screen, scale a little bit, maybe, he's pushing me, scale a little bit further or shorter or something like that to kind of change perspective. But that's maybe something else for another day. I'll look at the shaders in a little bit. Brunson says, prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. What what are you talking about, Brunson? What? The sharpened blade? That's a quote from a game, and it's just like, what does that mean? I know what it means, but it's like, basically, just being big is not a replacement for being tough. Like, if you have a sharpened blade, like, if a hero has a sharpened blade, versus some big guy, big monster, like, you know, that's not, the sharpened blade and the skill on top of it is going to succeed. Bundi says, does Goto have a way to do chromatic aberration? Just use a shader. It doesn't have a built-in way to do it, I don't think. I don't think it has a built-in way to do it, but it does work just by writing a shader. So my chromatic aberration shader is this, which is basically it. Why did I do it like that? That's stupid. Okay. Why did I do it like that? Yeah, that's stupid. Wait. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, why did I do this? This section right here gets overwritten by this, so I don't even know. I think I was just trying something like different, and then I just abandoned it. So this is what the shader is. Basically, we say, okay, how much of a aberration should there be? And it depends on, it's a small amount, but then it depends on basically the distance from the center of the screen on the X and Y axis, basically. And then we basically just offset the X and Y values by that factor for the R channel and for the B channel. So the red channel is shifting a little bit over to the left into the upward direction, and then the blue channel shifts over to the right here, plus factor, and down a little bit. So that gives you the chromatic aberration. It's a very basic shader. I'm sure an actual chromatic aberration shader would be more complex, but this is a fine, I think, start. Now the tilt blur is basically just blurring the screen depending on the distance from the focus Y, which is basically the player's position, or the center of the screen usually. Usually he's in the center roughly. But that can change as he moves upward and down through a map that might have limits, so he can't go past the bottom, and the camera stops at the bottom. So the player moves around, and that updates. Let's see. The shader basically updates that position to the focus Y variable, and so you end up with a situation like this where the player moves up and down, and then we have that Y position on screen, going from 0 to 1. Then we say, okay, we want to subtract the Y position of the pixels on the screen, you know, all the pixels. For each pixel, we subtract the Y position by the player's position on the Y axis, and then basically we blur by that amount. So the result it's not very strong. I'll turn it up a little bit so you can kind of see. But the end result is that it's really blurry until the player approaches it. So that gives a little bit of depth, because basically it kind of feels like you're looking at a scene from the top down with the perspective, you know, just built into the tiles and the characters and everything. It kind of looks like you're looking at a scene from the top down and from far away, because like a tilt shifted geometry, like tilt shifted photography does. So it looks like a convincing. It gives a convincing perspective, I think, to things. Not very complex, not very hard to write or to run for the computer, and it turns out pretty well. Runson Alexander says, so your mind have to be, that's how your mind has to be when developing. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. I guess yeah, you kind of have to, you have to be just like, this is quite the conundrum, but prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. I guess I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Runson. Man, you stupid. Alright. Let's see. Any news on Ninjala? No. Okay. So I'm gonna keep checking it. I'll keep checking it until probably 1:30, 1:45. And if it doesn't come back on, then I did my best, and we'll just have to come back later. That's a shame, though, because it was a fun game. It was pretty fun. I feel like, if anything, people complain, like people are whine about it. But honestly, people are going to be more. There's going to be more, I think, interest in the game once it reopens, because the people who can't play are whining, which kind of attracts other people, and they're like, "What's going on? Why are you whining? Why is Ninjala trending on Twitter?" And it's like, yeah, it's because no one can get in. Then when it finally opens, now people who are already even interested are going to be like, "Hey, let me give it a shot." Like, what's going on? So we'll see. AOEU says, what language is this? C#? Is GD script for Godot in general. This is kind of like a variation on C++ and GLSL. It's not quite either of those, but it's close. It's close to C++, as I understand it, in terms of just like, you need to use semicolons, you need to use brackets. These brackets for loops or if loops or if statements, conditionals. You put the variable type before the variable name, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like C++, and then the language underneath, like the variables and the terms, are similar to GLSL, but it's not quite the same. It's basically Godot's version of GLSL and C++. What was it? It might be vanilla C++. This is, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is vanilla C++. This feels a little simple. I feel like in vanilla C++ you can't do operator overloading, but I might be wrong. Maybe you can. Maybe this is just vanilla C++ and Godot's like variation of GLSL. I'm not sure. But that's basically what it is. It's basically C++ if it is not C++, and it's similar to GLSL, which is a shading language for OpenGL. Whew, okay, so we kind of got through everything here. What I'm going to end up doing here, I'm just going to talk. Well, not really talk about anything. I'm going to start working on some stuff. Let's do that. Well, wait. I actually wanted, and I want to take a break from working on Salvo. Well, I haven't worked on Salvo in a while. Let's make it so that this text updates with the information from the move. So basically the move says what it does. We can do that at least. We should be able to do that, yeah. Alright, so what we want to do, so this is in the set moves section. Set moves, visible, okay, the areas that moves. Alright, so let me think a little bit about how this should work. Because the way it works is that you click on set move, you click on the move, and I think at this point it should tell you what the move is. So, if it's here, it should tell you, I guess, what move you have selected. If it's here, it should tell you what move you have selected. But if you're playing on a phone and you tap it like that, well, they tell you when you tap it. So I guess either one of these will work. Oh, also we need to set the we need to set the objects back to their position. they're out of alignment when they're sliding back and forth. So let's fix that. We got a sign. Yeah, there we go. Where is their default position? 4. All right. Then also, yeah, I think it's probably fine if we just show whichever one you have highlighted. Either way should work, because if you are using the keyboard, it'll tell you which one you have highlighted now. If you aren't, then when you click, it's going to tell you what the move is when this is highlighted. So that's fine. So we just have to basically say, if the deck is visible, then we want to get to the highlighted move. If button dot has focus, we want to set selected move to be this. Let's kick this out here, and then we can. Well, that's fine. We don't have to do that. And then we can say, where's our description? It's going to be under here. Let's grab this. So get this is the salvo setup. So we go bop control set moves description label dot text equals selected move. Actually, it should be this dot. What's our description? Okay. All right, so that should tell us. Oh, that should tell us when we have the deck visible and we're highlighting moves. What the? Let's do it this way. Highlight it. Let's do it like this. Highlight move equals nil or null. There we go. Then we have highlighted move equals this. All right, then we can move this out of here. Because whether it's visible or not, the highlighted move is going to be different. So we just want to know if highlighted move is not equal to null. That way we can set highlighted move depending on, there we go. We can set highlighted move to be something different. Oh, I need to do it too far. Highlighted move can be something different depending on if the deck is visible or not. If it's visible, then we want to look at these objects. If it's not visible, we want to look at these objects. Okay, that'll work. So if deck visible, okay, button has it, okay, there. And then we say it otherwise. For button in, it's not in the deck, it's in move slots. Slots dot get node scroll container is that in is no move slots slots dot slots slots get node slots dot get children if button dot has focus highlighted. Okay, and then we'll just copy this. It's basically this. But instead of selected move, it's button. Button. Dot text. There we go. Alright. I think this should basically work. And then else visible with this false. Okay, there. So basically, when we highlight something, it should tell us what it is. It does not. Get children on base. Where do we call get children? Is it slots? Slots. Is slots. Is slots not? Wait, what's slots? Oh, slots is this. Okay, never mind. I don't have to do this. We can just say slots dot get children. There we go. Alright, what now? What now? Slash on base array moves. Oh, yeah, okay. No, we don't want the player equipment moves. I see. We want instead to get the move in general, which is in the move list. Okay, so solid move list. This is what we're looking for. Yeah, okay. There we go. Give it a shot. Nope. Let's see. Did I? Wait. Where are we at? So this is from the setup system. So we go up to control to set moves to description to label. That exists, right? Salvo global highlighted move. Why am I doing this way? We can just do highlighted move. Obs. Okay, let's try that. Yo, now it's working. Excellent. Okay. So I feel like we could probably cut it there and then use a little bit more space for like the other information, because basically how do I want to do this? Because essentially what this is and how this is supposed to work is, yo, session 1 extension, here's some more information. Yo, due to the emergency maintenance, the first session of open beta test will extend for another hour from 12 to 2 p.m. firstly, and then they completed it. Okay, cool. So we can give it a shot. All right, well, that's better. We actually did some work in the meantime. How about that for productivity? All right, so we're going to go ahead and give it another shot, see what's going on. Turn this off. Kick over to HDMI capture, turn the camera back on, turn the switch back on. Let's give it another shot, see what's going on. I won't, unfortunately, I don't think, be able to hear the music really. It'll be a little quiet, but I should be able to hear it. Okay, all right. Man, they fixed it they fixed it. I'm surprised. Like, they fixed it immediately. I mean, like, it was down from like 12:20 till now, till 1:25. So it took them an hour to just completely maybe fix it. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to change my weapon. I want to try change my weapon. All right, well, we'll see. Runson says, "Ah, yes. What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?" What are you? What, Runson? I think. I don't know. It's like, well, I might have to. Let me try restarting this. Runson, you're just spouting. It's like you sound like a chat bot for the most real conversations. Ah, yes. What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield? Like, like, what are you talking about? We're playing a kid's game. Like these are children. All right, let's give it another shot. Let's try Sorry from Scratch, seeing if it connects a little better. Oh, you can. Okay. For some reason, Wait. If you defeat an opponent who's in a gum-bound state, you'll score an ippon. So that's not just defeating them? That's surprising. I thought that, like, it's essentially the same thing, but apparently not. I don't like that you, like, go to click on quick battle and it it highlights no instead of yes. I don't know if it's gonna put me through. Put me in, coach. I'm interested. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be the same. Come on, come on, come on. That's a shame. So they're still. They did fix a lot of it. I can get in super easy, but I can't matchmake. So it might be the same. Well, at least it didn't kick me out. So let's at least take a look around since we have the time. What other stuff can we do? Yo. Yo, that's pretty sick. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. That's pretty sick. Like the yo-yo Spalding ball. That's actually pretty smart. Like that's a smart weapon. I like that. All right. Oh, the hammer is skateboard wheels. That's pretty sick too. The design is actually like on point. Like that's really inventive stuff. Oh, there's this skateboard at the base. I didn't even notice that. That's pretty cool. All right, so we'll try out the ball. Let's see. Statue of Liberty. Utsusemi. That's... Oh. No. Is that what you hide as? Maybe that's what you hide as? Okay, transform yourself into... Okay. Okay. Let's try the bus. I'm not sure if that actually is going to do anything. And then I saw a little bit about this, how you have cards that basically you can do things with. I don't have any costs. I don't have anything. Yeah, no. Costs. Yeah. But you can like strengthen yourself with these cards. Okay, cool. All right, so let's give it another shot. Oh wait, what other? Yo, you just have these by default? I didn't know. How is that fitting over his head? It's just there's no way. Like there's no way that this fits over this man's head. It's too big. I gotta have the ninja head, I think. Oh wait, but you have different hairstyles and stuff. All right, they're going in on like the customization is actually pretty sick. No, even here, I'm not safe even here. All right, so I'll keep giving it another shot, but I feel like it's too many people trying to play. Okay, at least it didn't kick me too far out. As long as it doesn't have a problem connecting. Please. Let me in. Please. Nah. Yeah. Oh well. I'll keep trying, but I might have to aim for that 8 p.m. slot. See if we can get some something else going on. When does the game actually come out? When did it come out fully? May 28th. May 28th. I was about to say Today's the 20. I thought I was like today's the 28th, isn't it? Yeah. So next month. Okay, well, that's not even that long. Like I'll definitely check it out when it drops. For real. Runson says this game does look sick though. Is this a PvP game? Yeah, it's like either like deathmatch is 8 people or team is 4-on-4. So it's like I'm interested because I'm wondering like how this is like it's such a weird style. I'm looking at like the clothes and stuff because it's like this man's wearing boots but that have the toe separated like ninja, like the tabi, like the ninja shoes have like the toe separated from the rest of the toe, the big toe. Like his boots are like that. It's like it's such a like weird, unique combination of like different styles. It's weird, but it's solid, dude. It looks pretty sick. Yeah, it's PvP, so that's why I was just about to say I'm interested because you would think like with only 8 people, there's not enough people for it to be interesting. Depending on the stage size, because you want it to be big enough where like you can hide, you know, behind things, you can take cover, you can move around, and I feel like they're kind of emphasizing that with the ability to like dash and the ability to run up walls and stuff. So it's it's got a certain level of like verticality and things like that. That's interesting, but at the same time, there only being 8 people means that the stage has to be small enough where you can't spend, you know, minutes running from corner to corner or not running into people. Like if it was a huge stage but 64 players or 32 players, then it's like, you know, that kind of goes together. But with only 8 players, you might think that the stage would have to be super small. So I'm interested because it's like if there's only 8 players but they emphasize verticality, they emphasize hiding, they emphasize dashing, that it implies that the stage is big enough to warrant those things, while also being small enough where, you know, you won't have problems. Well, maybe I think the way it is also is when you get beat. Renzo says, "Do characters have different abilities?" I think you can equip different abilities on your character. So the characters themselves are just aesthetic, you know, they just look different, but the abilities are like you can change which weapon you use, you can change which special you have, I think. So it's kind of like you can customize them to be how you want them to be while also customizing their looks differently. Yeah, so I'm interested because it's like I think the way it is that if when a person gets knocked out, they don't disappear permanently like a battle royale. You know, where it's like, oh yeah, they're gone, they're dead. Like I don't think it's like that. I think it's just you got knocked out and then you just respawn. So if it's like that, where it's a constant 8-person match through 8 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever, that could work. Versus something else. Hold on, I have a visitor. All right, so I have to go. I have to go. but I will try to do one battle if I can. If I can get in, if I can match up, I'll do a battle. Ideally, we want to see the game in progress. Like I'm hyped for it, but I have to leave. But it's so interesting. It feels. Actually, yes. It's interesting because, like, Runson says, dispatch this thug in brutal fashion that all may hear of your arrival. There's no one, Runson, I'm not in the game yet. Put me in, coach. Honestly, this looks pretty good. Honestly, like, I'm still hyped for it. I'm probably more hyped now than before I even started playing today. Because when you get just a taste of something that tastes good, then you're like, man, I wish I had more of it. Brundi says, brutally dispatch the server. That's pretty much exactly what's going on. So, like, I like how the server is also, like, 0.00002. Like, this is, like, just barely, the server is just barely up. I know I can't even get in. So, I'm really hyped for it even still. I like it for what it is. I think they have a lot of customization options, a lot of options for gameplay, from what I'm seeing, and I'm interested in seeing how it works out more. Yeah, so I'll keep trying a little bit more, but I'm gonna have to go if I can't get in. Oh, the music was off. I didn't even realize the sound's off. Yeah. I'll give it one more shot. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been a nice little 2-hour stream where we never actually played the game. It's unfortunate, but this is kind of to be expected. Hopefully they'll do another one. I feel like I can't say that they will, but it kind of feels like they would do another one, maybe next week. Maybe I'll give it a shot at 8 p.m. and see how it goes. But I feel like, yeah, it's down. All right, it was worth a try. We did our best. We can go out with our head held high. It's unfortunate, but it's really kind of to be expected, I think, at this stage. It's a game that is free to play. It's an online game. This was like a single player free to play game or single player game that's like a demo that connects to the servers for some reason. I'd be a little bit more upset, but I'd be still understanding. But I would kind of understand a little bit more of people being like, whining about it or complaining about it. But I mean, this is a free-to-play online game. It all bases on connection to servers, connections to other players. If there's too many people trying to get in, too many people playing at a given time, you're going to have problems. So there's not, I'm not even like really upset about this particular situation. It's not even really out yet. It launches May 28th, so this is just kind of like a demo, essentially. It looks good, though. I'm interested, and I definitely will be playing more of it if I can get in there. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but I'll have to end the stream here and see if we can maybe pick this up either at 8 p.m. today, which is kind of insane to like bank on it again. Either I'm going to give it a shot at 8 p.m. again today, or give it a shot like at the next cycle. I feel like they might do another one. I don't know. There's no reason for me to think this except for the fact that like this isn't like so many people aren't able to play. It feels like they would be like, let's do maybe next week and see if we can clean this up and get it so that everyone is able to play without issues. Because it kind of feels like naturally this is to test server load. This is to test the version of the game, test player interaction with each other in game, but also player interaction with the different services the server uses. So it's important for that to be tested fully. And so if the players can't get on, then this test can't really be for everything that a player is going to interact with. So I feel like they might push it a little bit further with this particular 3 individual sessions, or they might push it and maybe add another set of sessions next week or something like that. So I'll keep an eye out and see if things improve either later on today, or if they kind of expand it a little bit next week or some other time. I just say next week because that's soon, and the game's supposed to launch in a month. So like they need to get as much like testing in as they can if they want to collect data. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you very much for stopping by. I've been SolarLoon, independent game developer and Ninjala player, attempted Ninjala player. And I'll be happy to give it another shot when the servers are up. So thank you very much for watching. Catch you guys on the flip side, and I'll see you.